So this particular machine is what we call a flatbed machine. It's got a completely flat bed here. So to get at where I put this in, I have to slide this off. This is now what we call a free arm machine, which means you can actually get things that can fit on there if you wanted to when you're making a garment, say a sleeve or something. But for paper crafting, it's handy to have a flatbed machine. So I would always suggest you sew with your sewing table on. So I'm going to slide that off. And on this particular machine, I open the door here. Sometimes you just drop your spool or your shuttle in the top here. But in this particular machine, you open the front door and you release the spool case. And this is a metal case that holds onto your bottom thread. Now, some machines, the case is just in the machine and you just drop this straight in. So you will have to look at your particular machine to find out which one you have. So for this particular machine, if we go back to this is the spool case, and we're going to drop the spool into the spool case so that the thread, when I pull it, is turning clockwise. And that brings the thread to this very small slit on the side, and then I can pull it up and behind this spring, and it's this spring that keeps that bottom thread under tension. So the top thread, we've got tension discs in here that are regulated by numbers here, and we usually have that on the middle number. And then the bottom thread has a spring, and if you pull that thread now, it's just slightly under tension. So that's the bottom thread threaded. So now I'm going to get hold of it with this clip here. I'm going to move the thread out the way, and with this, more or less at 12 o'clock, I'm going to put it into the machine and slide it till I hear it click. So we've got the top thread and we've got the bottom thread. You must bring this bottom thread out through this hole here on the top before you start sewing. If you forget to do that, you'll end up with a big taffled mess. So this is how we do that. We hold on to the top thread, we turn this wheel towards us until the take-up lever, which I talked about before, goes all the way to the bottom and back up to the top. So now I can see it here. I can see that it's caught the bottom thread here in a big loop, and if I get hold of it, I can pull it and have both threads coming out directly above each other. That's what's important. If I just take this foot off, you'll probably see. That's what's important. If this is at the top and that's directly underneath it, you'll get a good stitch. So I'll put this foot back on, just so that you could see that, and we'll move on. So before we start sewing, we need to put both of these threads through the middle of this presser foot. This is called your presser foot because it presses down on the paper or the fabric, and pull them out to the back out of the way. I can shut that door and put my table back on, and I'm ready to sew. Don't get confused with the thing on the floor that you put your foot on. This is called the foot pedal. This is the presser foot because it presses the fabric and the paper, but this is the foot pedal. So I've got the foot pedal on the floor, ready to start doing some sewing. So that's how to thread up your sewing machine, ready to get sewing. Let's start.